Hello guys, welcome back to the Try Time Podcast YouTube channel. I'm Callum and I'm here on my own today, and this is 5 reasons why Leigh were the right choice for Super League. We will have 5 reasons why Leigh wasn't the right choice, just to give both sides of the argument on Leigh. That'll be coming up in the next couple of days. Just before we get into the video, I just want to say thanks for the support on the channel and the previous videos we have done, the comments, likes, subscribes, everything. It all does really help us. So if you can go like, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. If you want to comment, tell us what you think. How if you think Leigh were the right decision, then you can comment that down below as well. Also, in the rugby note, congratulations to Leigh. Think they will do great in Super League and looking forward to the season. So we'll get straight into it. These are in no particular order. So to start off, we'll speak about why I think their fan base is a plus to Super League. Obviously, fan bases outside of the top teams are not upper echelon really. They're not ideal for the sport. They're not really increasing, they're more declining, which is a problem within the sport itself. But Leigh have got a good strong fan base. One of the strongest obviously of the people who did apply. And they're also like a loyal fan base that's been there a while as well, you know, as opposed to like a York where it's like a new up and coming sort of thing. And it's all probably, in terms of numbers wise, it's probably bigger than a few Super League teams that are already in there, so definitely think it's a good choice. And if there was going on fans, I can see why they kind of picked that as like a, yeah, you know what, it's a good fan base, it'll bring a lot. And also obviously we don't know with COVID about away fans and stuff like that, but they'll travel to some grounds, especially with some teams being in that close vicinity to them. So in terms of moving on to a second one, I think the ground, honestly, if you look at some of the Super League grounds, they're abysmal, as well as some of the Championship ones who could have come up as well. Some horrible horrible is a strong word, but just not up to scratch, not sky worthy. And if some neutral fan who knows rugby league but don't really watch it turns on telly and they see like, you know, there's some like Wakefield's ground is just an example, and it's not ideal. Whereas you turn it on, you see at Leigh Sports Village, it's like a modern ground. It's got good capacity as well, enough to hold a good Super League game on a Friday night. Do you know what I mean? Look, like I say, Sky obviously have looked at this as well as the RFL and thought, you know, it's good branding, a good stadium like this. Yeah, good ground, all I can really say. In terms of the team, out of the options, when you look at squad wise and recruitment and everything like that, you've got to say Leigh was arguably the strongest team out of them. They've recruited well obviously since as well, and I can see they've definitely got a squad that is capable of actually doing something in Super League, whether it's that they've got players who've played in Super League before or Championship players who are ready for that step up. I think it's just a good team, to be honest. I don't think they're favourites to be like, oh, they're definitely going down. You know, like maybe we had that thought with Toronto, like they're definitely going to be the bottom team. I don't think that's the case with Leigh. Obviously, we don't know how the season's going to shape up and maybe more recruitment to come, but they're looking decent team, and I'm looking forward to seeing them play actually and see how they fare. Also, a little add in with the team is Toronto had real troubles with the squad depth when they came up. You know, they just didn't have enough players, and obviously they didn't have that sort of youth there. But I think Leigh have got a bit more depth in the squad, which I think's good as well. I just think they've got more of an ability, especially not being over in Toronto. They've got more ability to bring players in as well if they needed to, but definitely the depth's there, which is also a good thing to add, obviously. In terms of, now we're going on to something a bit different really. It's like, but I think it's important to say, and I've actually put the owner and like how optimistic and sort of positive the owner is. He's a rugby league fan, and that's what you want in an owner. You don't want these owners who come and they're not really into rugby league, they're there for money. It's not like that. And you know, his name is Derek Beaumont. You know what I mean? He's a big name that is worthy of being in Super League as an owner. Enthusiastic about the game. He wants to move rugby league forward, and I think having an owner of a team in Super League, this top competition in the country, surely helps to move the game forward. Personally, I would liken to Kukas. Obviously, they were on Judd Rinder together, but we won't talk too much about that. But it brings some attention to Super League. It brings something like another personality there, another thing when Sky are on, they'll speak about it. Do you know what I mean? It's a thing that probably flies under the radar, but I think fair play for Derek. Obviously, he's put together obviously a really good application anyway to get in. And I think that and he will be a reason there because he's established. He's an established owner, and I look forward to actually seeing him and see how he fares in the personality within Super League. I don't know what you guys think about that. It's a bit of a different one, which people probably haven't spoke about really. So let me know what you think of that down below. last one really is, it keeps, in terms of a COVID potential season next year, it keeps to the M62, which people have criticised. It keeps it on that same, the heartlands, you know what I mean, that sort of thing. It keeps it there, which obviously people have said the negative side to it. But in a season that potentially could be COVID ridden, I guess, if you want to say, like last season was, where you saw teams like Toronto obviously had to drop out of the competition, and you've got a team like Callum who couldn't fulfil barely any of the fixtures because of COVID. Having a team like Leigh, basically replacing Toronto, it just adds another team who's like, if COVID does strike and we have to play with no fans and we have to, play at neutral grounds, it's a team based in the UK around other teams, and it makes it plausible to actually they'll be able to play and fulfil more games, which I think is only a plus to the competition. Also something that I think people haven't really thought about when saying this bad stuff, because the IFL have got to think about COVID. This could be around for years, it could be gone by summer, we just don't know, but they've got to have a sort of continuous plan. I think that's why people have said, Leigh is just a safe bet. Well, maybe Leigh is a safe bet, but I don't think it's just that. I think it's definitely got more potential as well. Obviously we'll be speaking about sort of maybe the negative aspects of why they shouldn't have got it in the next video, which will be, like I said, it'll be coming up in a couple of days. So yeah, let me know what you think. Are Leigh the right people for Super League? What team should it have been? Let me know. I know we did all the 6 videos and everyone sort of give their thoughts on that, but I want to know sort of why it should have been Leigh, why it shouldn't have been Leigh, whether you think these reasons have sort of changed your mind or anything like that, and just keep supporting the channel and podcast. Obviously in the new year we are going to be getting back into our normal schedule, where once we get back into swing at season, we'll have podcast every Wednesday, a Saturday video which will use like a top 5 type thing, and also I'll announce now, I'm going to be hosting, as obviously a Championship fan and Bradford fan, like a weekly Championship roundup, maybe like this sort of length, sort of 5, 6, 7 minutes every week, just summing over results, any talking points in Championship, so that some of you guys who are really sort of zoned in on Championship, who maybe don't want to watch the full pod where we talk more in depth about the whole rugby league in the country in general for that week, can sort of zone into it. So yeah, thanks for the support, guys. Make sure you're subscribing, liking, and yeah, see you later.